Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Would you please rise for the posting of the colors by the Harrisburg Police Department's Honor Guard?
Recover. Breathe in. Arm. Order. Arm. Left. Finger.
Thank you very much. Please remain standing and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. And now I'd like to call our new mayor, Eric Pappenfuss, to the podium so that he can carry forward with today's program.
Thank you all very much. We have a series of announcements and a number of people that would like to address you today, but we are going to begin the ceremony by officially swearing in a new police chief and a new police captain. So I'd like to ask Tom Carter, Derek Moody to please come forward, and also Captains Cleary and Oates to come forward so that you can see our full team. We will begin by swearing in the chief, and then we will swear in the captain, but come forward. You'll all stand here to witness. Please raise your right hand.
Sir.
And repeat after me. I, Thomas Carter,
I am nervous.
sorry,
I, Thomas Carter,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I shall support, defend, and obey
that I shall support, defend, and obey
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and that I will, to the best of my abilities,
and that I will, to the best of my abilities,
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
as the Chief of the Harrisburg Police
as the Chief of the Harrisburg Police
with honor and fidelity.
with honor and fidelity.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you, sir. Thank
We will let the chief make some remarks, but we also have a new captain to swear in. If you would come forward, please. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Derek Moody,
I, Derek Moody,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I shall support, defend, and obey
that I shall support, defend, and obey
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will, to the best of my abilities,
and that I will, to the best of my abilities,
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
as the captain of the Harrisburg Police
as the captain of the Harrisburg Police
with honor and fidelity.
with honor and fidelity.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Captain Moody. We're going to let the chief and the captain make some remarks, and then I'm going to bring to the stage a number of dignitaries that will explain a number of different things that we're going to do. Very exciting things for Harrisburg. Let me just say, by way of introduction to our new chief, that the choice has always been clear. There is no one in Harrisburg who has more respect, who has more of a connection to the public than Tom Carter. We are lucky to have him as our chief. He is going to do great things for us. He has the support of the force, the community, and, as you will see, the surrounding region. So would you please welcome officially for his first words as our new chief, Tom Carter.
Thank you. I want to thank the mayor. I want to thank Mr. Marchico, Chief Martin, Joyce Davis. I want to thank all the citizens of this great city. I've been knocking at the door for 26 long years. I've always believed in treating people fair, treating everybody equal, regardless of their situation. I was raised that way. I want to thank my mother for being here, my sister, my two sons. I want to thank my girlfriend Lovey. I want to thank everybody for supporting me. As I said, I've been knocking now, the door is finally open. I do believe that in Harrisburg City, we have the greatest police officers of everybody. We have come a long way. We have struggled. We have fought a hard fight. We have run a good race. And with our new leadership team, with Mr. Pappenfuss at the helm, I'm sure that the citizens will see a great change here. God bless you. I love you. And thank you all.
And another individual who has deeply impressed me in our interactions and with his work with the county and all that he does for the Harrisburg Police. Would you please also welcome our newest captain, Captain Derek Moody.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to be even shorter than the chief. I'd like to thank everyone for their continued support. More importantly, I was told not to forget this one. For my family, for everyone that's here, but especially for my wife, who put up with a lot to get here. And thank you.
I would ask that you stay, if that's all right. And we would now like to welcome up the following individuals. District Attorney Ed Marsico, our county commissioners, Jeff Haste, George Hartwick, Mike Prees, also from Susquehanna Township, Frank Lynch and Mona Johnson. I think Frank is coming. Come on up if he's not there. Okay, Frank. And Dave Botero. Please come on up, Dave. And we will have a series of exciting things. And Chief Martin. Yes, sorry. Chief. You will have to array yourselves behind. You'll let you go first. Okay? Yep. All right. There is no solution for the public safety crisis that is before us which doesn't look to foster regional cooperation. And today we have before us the leaders of the region to say that we must work together to make Harrisburg and the region safer. We have an unprecedented series of announcements today that not only show that regional cooperation through their actions and through the plans that we have before us, but also, I think very importantly, show that we can work in bipartisan ways in the region to emphasize things that we agree on, which is improving the quality of life by making public safety our #1 emphasis and commitment. And there is no mistaking the fact that we've chosen our first press conference here to be about public safety. There are a number of things that we want to announce today. One of them is a new partnership with the District Attorney's Office. And to tell you a little bit more about that, I'd like to welcome our DA, Ed Marsico. Thank you.
I want to thank the mayor for inviting me here today for this occasion. And first thing I want to do is congratulate both Tom and Derek on their new positions. Having worked with each of them for a long time. We'll let it go at that. You know, I've been in the DA's office 25 years and have known them for most of that time, as well as Colin and Annette that are here. And to see them rise through the ranks, and Angie, Wendy, all of us have worked together over the years. It's great to see someone qualified with the experience and the integrity that Tom and Derek have rise to this position. You know, professionally, I'm honored to work with them, but on a better note, I consider them both close friends, and this is a great occasion for the city of Harrisburg today. So I want to congratulate the mayor on his faith in those individuals going forward, and you know, that's a great occasion. With that said, moving forward, the city of Harrisburg has a crime problem, as does the county of Dauphin, as does central Pennsylvania, and we're all too aware of that. And there's no one solution to it. If there were, you know, we would have spent whatever money there was to fix it. But as the mayor said, it takes cooperation. It takes cooperation across municipal boundaries. It takes cooperation, you know, at different levels of government. So we are very happy today to announce that from the district attorney's office, we are going to partner with the mayor financially, make a commitment beginning today from the DA's office, and I'm going to let commissioners talk about their commitment from the DA's office, a commitment of at least $25,000 a year for the mayor and the chief to use on equipment or other items as they see fit. As we all know, the city of Harrisburg's had some budgetary challenges, and we've tried to help wherever we can. We're actively looking for money. Last year we were able to get the first of a series of cameras that are now up and running here in the city of Harrisburg that we think, when totally rolled out, are going to be a remarkable help to the police going forward. You know, we look forward to working with this administration where the commitment throughout the mayor's campaign, as well as he said here today, his first press conference, is about public safety. And that's a message I think that we need to go forward, is that from this building there is, again, that commitment to keeping the citizens of Harrisburg safe, whether you live on the Hill, whether you're uptown. And the same goes to those that live outside the city, to know that the city will be a safe place to work, to play, to eat. That it is going to be a commitment on behalf of all of us. So I'm pleased today to announce a financial commitment to this administration, and hopefully, you know, we're searching for new money all the time. Hopefully we can find some more to help out, but I'm very much looking forward to continuing this partnership to fight crime. You know, we have always worked together in law enforcement. We don't care. You know, Chief Umberger's here on behalf of the chiefs of police, Chief County Detective John Goshert, who's the former city cop. You know, we know that we all have to work together, and our commitment to the city of Harrisburg today takes another step forward. So, to the gentlemen, congratulations, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We thank you for the commitment. We thank you for what it means. The chief and his team are hard at work determining the best uses of those funds. We have a transition report with a lot of suggestions, and there are a lot of needs, and we appreciate that commitment. In addition to the DA's office, we went to our county commissioners and we asked them for support as well. And we are truly, truly appreciative of the fact that we have 3 county commissioners from 2 different parties, all of whom are deeply committed to improving public safety in Harrisburg and the region. And I thank them for the commitment which they have made, and I ask if they would all like to come up one at a time, perhaps George first, if that's all right. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for bearing the cold today, and I want to start out first by saying congratulations to all the new administrative officers of the Harrisburg City Police Department. I know you all. I know your character, and I know your integrity and your intent to help the city. I'd also like to thank Mayor Pappenfuss and congratulate him on his blue-collar inauguration yesterday. Being from Steelton, I'm not strange to blue collar, so most of you know me in suits. I wore jeans today in case I needed to trim the tree or change the lock or assist you in any way. We all roll up our sleeves, and there's no job that we're not willing to do, and I know that's true for Eric as well. It's interesting, this morning I was on a radio show in Union County, and we were talking with I'm in a national role of human services and statewide role, and we were talking about access to treatment for people in our criminal justice system and the lack of resources. Rather than building prisons, we need to provide a real investment in individuals because 80% of crime is drug related. And we need to figure out ways not to build prisons, but to be able to address the systemic issues that are facing, I don't care where you're from, I don't care what color you are. My family has issues. The idea that we need to eliminate that stigma and address those real issues need to occur. And the first question that came at me in Union County was, how does the city's financial crisis continue to drag on your ability with limited resources to provide access to the treatment? And I was happy to respond that with the Harrisburg Strong Plan, it's a new day in the city of Harrisburg. It's a new time to be able to step forward with new leadership, the ability to try to put the past in the past. I'm not very good at pointing fingers. I was elected, and I know Mayor Pappenfuss is elected, and all of us as commissioners were elected to step forward and face and solve the serious challenges that we're here to face. We let the criminal justice system deal with other issues. We need to get to do the work in the business of the people, and that's what we're here to be able to do. And I know in my former role as mayor of Steelton, there's nothing more important than public safety. And I will tell you this, from my experience in understanding public safety, it's not going to happen by the commissioners, the mayor, any individual police officer. It happens from the citizens in each block, in each neighborhood. And the ability for those individuals to take ownership and have an expectation that that's not going to happen where I live. I'm going to get engaged and involved and find out who the champions are in each one of those blocks. And I've went door to door, as I know the mayor has. We have great people in this city. We have great people that are willing to get involved and engaged. And I know the mayor and the police force have a plan to be able to start to engage citizens and have them be a part of the solution. Because if not, if our expectations don't change, if we don't get involved, if we're not the eyes and the ears and we don't say, hey, this needs to stop and I'm going to be the one who steps up to help stop it, no single leader can ever make that level of change. So today, with the new day in Harrisburg, we're proud to partner, and I think the first of many partnerships with the city of Harrisburg to address public safety. It's important for investment. It's important for business. It's important for our own expectations. And I no longer want to sit in an airport and have people ask me, are you from that bankrupt area of central Pennsylvania? I want to be talking about the investment that's now occurring in a renaissance in this city, how the folks and residents are getting engaged and involved in being able to make sure crime and the issues that exist, trash dumping, that's not to be expected. We have higher self-expectations, and I know that through this leadership, through this administration, and through these continued partnerships, Harrisburg's on the way back, and we look forward to making sure that occurs.
Yes. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. I just want to say that this new mayor, this new administration and his transition team is not just talking the talk, they are walking the walk. And you are seeing that. This is a perfect example of a joint, cooperative, collaborative effort between the City of Harrisburg, Dauphin County, the District Attorney's Office, as well as Susquehanna Township on things that you're going to hear about today and in the future. And we have an opportunity moving forward to make things better. Not talk about the past anymore, but talk about the great things we can do together, working together. The county has public safety as our #1 priority. It has been, it is today, and it will continue to be in the future. We have assisted the city in the past with transitioning the 911 dispatch center over to the county, saving the city upwards of $700,000 per year, which is a good thing. And the county will continue to assist the city, because that's what we're here for. We work on your behalf, and I want to tell you that my colleagues and I are looking forward to working with the new mayor and his team in the future. Thank you all, and have a wonderful day.
I too would like to start by saying congratulations to the mayor. Mayor, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief, welcome As both George and Mike said, public safety is one of the key things that we've been working on over the last 4 or 5 years. If you recall, a couple of years ago, when the city was struggling, we went into our gaming fund and made sure that we had enough money for 10 patrol cars so the police officers could do their job. We continue to work with the Chiefs of Police Association and other law enforcement entities throughout central Pennsylvania to make sure that we're all on the same page. And it's easy for us to sit here and talk about making public safety a priority, but if we stop at political boundaries, as we have many times in the past, you go to a municipality line and all of a sudden things stop, communication stops, you go to another one and it stops. That hinders everybody's ability. And I actually think the timing is right in Dauphin County and in central Pennsylvania and in the city of Harrisburg for us to form a new partnership moving forward. And I think you're going to see better cooperation among the police departments. Part of the reason we put the juvenile center or the justice center out there was so that there can be a better communication and better access for police officers across central Pennsylvania to be able to drop people off, get back out on the streets and work. We also, as a county, have decided to join with Ed in the district attorney's office in making a financial commitment moving forward. And we've committed $110,000 over the next 5 years to go towards public safety for projects that the chief and the mayor see in here. As George said, not only is public safety important for us in our homes, so that we can come and go as we see fit and feel safe raising our family and having our loved ones over and our parents and things like that. But let's face it too, it's also important for our economy. We cannot build this city, we cannot get the renovation or the revitalization that we want unless people feel safe. We want to feel safe in our homes, we want to feel safe where we shop, we want to feel safe where we eat, where we entertain, and that's what we're here to do to help with the mayor to do in moving forward. It also is an economic development tool. So we're going to make this investment in public safety. We intend to also make investments in economic development as we move forward. It's a great new day in Harrisburg. It's a great new day in central Pennsylvania. We're Dauphin County proud. I hope you are too. Thank you.
Thank you to all the commissioners. Appreciate this tremendously. I know this is going to be just the beginning of a very positive, collaborative working relationship for the future. We're tremendously excited. But that's not all. We are also here to announce a collaboration with Susquehanna Township. And before I ask Chief Rob Martin to come up and make a few words, I'd like for Township Commissioner Frank Lynch to say something, and for me to just start by saying this. When we started thinking about the changes that would be needed in the Harrisburg police force, I first spoke to Tom Carter, and the second person I spoke to was Rob Martin. And from the beginning, they worked in collaboration on a series of transition recommendations which are going to be transformative. From the beginning, Rob Martin said, "There's your chief, you need to look no further." And from the beginning, Chief Carter said, "I can learn from that man. He can be very, very helpful in helping me implement the changes that I want to implement in the Harrisburg Police Force." So it was a natural partnership from the very start. And it worked its way brilliantly through a transition process. And when that transition process concluded, the question was, where do we go from here? And I am very pleased that Frank Lynch from Susquehanna Township came forward with a proposal made in conjunction with Rob Martin for the township to allow and pay for Chief Martin to come and consult with Chief Carter on a regular basis for the next 6 months. 2 days a week, he'll be coming to Harrisburg. He will be reporting directly to the chief. He will be working closely with the chief, and he will be implementing the changes that we all need. And that is tremendously exciting, and that would not be at all possible without regional cooperation and an understanding and a commitment that unless Harrisburg is strong, Susquehanna Township won't be strong, and vice versa. We have to work together. We're a region, and those old divisions, they're imaginary. Chase leads out of the city. a crime moves between boundaries of municipalities. We're one. So to say a few words, please welcome Susquehanna Township Commissioner Franklin.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. You know, we kind of in Susquehanna Township have an embarrassment of riches because we have a great police chief and we have one of the most admired police forces in central Pennsylvania. We're very happy about that. Mona Johnson, new vice president of the Susquehanna Township Board, and myself have talked extensively about consolidation of government services on a number of fronts. Intermunicipal cooperation is vital in the days of diminishing resources. And let's face it, that's exactly what we have in the United States today. And it makes sense to get together, to, as Commissioner Hayes said, to break down those political borders and work together. Like I said, we have an embarrassment of riches in the police. We have the ability to share some expertise that's unmatched in central Pennsylvania. But we also act in a little bit of self-interest because 40% of our border is with the city of Harrisburg. As the city of Harrisburg goes, so goes Susquehanna Township. That having been said, it's been great talking to Mayor Pappenfuss in consultation with our chief and the county commissioners, especially Commissioner Hartwick, to put together a plan that's going to make sense. It's going to protect the citizens of Susquehanna Township, but also lend a helping hand to the city of Harrisburg. So we're happy to do it, and I would like to underscore this would only be possible with the chief that we have now, Chief Rob Martin. He's done a tremendous job, and we're so lucky to be able to share him on a defined basis with the city of Harrisburg. So, thank you.
And with that, if we could bring Chief Rob Martin up to say a few words. And Chief, if you could, very briefly, if you could just sketch out a few of the changes that you think the public are going to see within the next 6 months.
Sure. Well, first, I'm just very flattered to be here, and congratulations to Chief Carter and Captain Moody. That they're not only colleagues of mine, they're not only two of the finest men I've ever known in my professional life, but they're my friends, and that's what's most important. Today's a tribute to Mayor Pappenfuss. It's a tribute to Commissioner Hayes, Hartwick, and Priest. It's a tribute to District Attorney Ed Marsico. It's a tribute to President Frank Lynch and Vice President Mona Johnson and the 7 other commissioners of Susquehanna Township, because it's all hands on deck today to bring safety to not only the city of Harrisburg, but all of Dauphin County. But there's more. At lunch today, I meet with 4 chiefs from Dauphin County who want to join me in this collaboration. We're in this together, all of us. The center of gravity is the safety and protection of the citizens of all of Dauphin County. Susquehanna Township will see no reduction in my time devoted to them. I work 50 or 60 hours a week anyway. There's not going to be any reduction of who I am and where I am in Susquehanna Township. I come from a family of steelworkers. My mother taught me that there's dignity in work. My love, my hope for Susquehanna Township will never be lessened by anyone or anything. So why all of this? It's been said previous to me, it's more than about jurisdictions and boundary lines. Viktor Frankl was a Nazi concentration camp survivor, and he wrote a book on the meaning of life. And he said you can find meaning in our lives from 3 aspects. One is work, doing something significant. The second is love, caring for other people. And the third one is this, demonstrating courage in difficult times. And these elected officials that are behind me today are demonstrating courage in difficult times. What are some of the things that you're going to see? Some of the things that Chief Carter and I and the transition team collaborated on. Well, first of all, please join me in agreeing that the best police work takes place outside of the police car. I've often said that the worst invention in modern policing is a climate-controlled police car with an AM/FM radio. You got to get out of the police car, engage citizens, not just when things are going bad, not just when you're called to a call. You know, when I started in policing in 1984, you know how you were judged as a police officer? By how many miles you put on patrol that shift. In Susquehanna Township, if we got busy that shift, and was coming close to the shift, and we didn't have that 70 or 80 miles, we'd go up on Interstate 81 and drive back and forth, so our sergeant didn't get mad at us. It's not about miles. Now I get mad at police officers if they have too many miles, because it means they're not out of the car enough talking to people. That's what Chief Carter, as your new leader, brings to this police department. This is a man that is a walking textbook on community policing. Find me a more respected police officer in City Hall. So they're going to get out of the car. They're going to do those good things in a shift, because I'm going to tell you, some of the greatest police officers that I've known in my career, past and present, are Harrisburg City police officers. And they've been working under dire conditions. And these gentlemen behind me, the elected officials, are bringing them help. All we seek to do in terms of me and the fellow chiefs is bring them some strategies that have worked for us in Dauphin County and tell them what's worked and also tell them what hasn't worked for us. You know, growth comes from mistakes, and we're going to be able to share our mistakes with Chief Carter to avoid those for him and his department and his officers in the future. Equipment. One of the things, and Mr. Marsico and I have talked about this many times, that's sweeping the nation is these body cams. You know, yes, there's MVR systems in cars, but many major cities across the nation, their officers on patrol now are wearing little body cameras on them, and I think that's 21st century policing, so that there can be no doubt what happened in that certain incident. So we got to bring those 21st century strategies, leadership, believing in these men and women who are the tip of the spear in safety. Change comes from the patrol division. I'm a patrol guy. I only spent 2 years as a detective. My heart is always in this uniform. And that's where you're going to see the change. You know, when I went to the FBI National Academy in 1999, I took a master's degree course on the future of law enforcement. And they said, we predict that in the future, law enforcement will be the hub of local governments. And a couple years later, September 11th happened. And look where we are today in the city of Harrisburg and Dauphin County. Public safety is the hub of government. And the gentlemen behind me are here and committed to make that hub fantastic, excellent, and it's going to work, and it's going to give people a sense of safety. So God bless all of you. This is more than me. I meet at noon today with my fellow chiefs, and I am excited to work with Chief Carter and his team on doing things not just for the city of Harrisburg, but the entire area of Dauphin County. Thank you.
And that's not all. We have one final announcement, which also speaks to the regional cooperation. One of the things that we need in this plan is a new community policing officer who can go out and can forge those connections with the community in very important ways. And one of the constituencies that we wanted to reach was the Latino community in Harrisburg. We need people who are bilingual, who are comfortable, who are fluent, who can work in all aspects of this city and forge positive relationships. And as we thought about it, as I discussed it with Chief Carter, a name came to mind. But the only problem was he was working for the County of Dauphin and he was working for Commissioner George Hartwick. So I spoke to George Hartwick about it. I think we both admire and agree that Dave Botero would bring tremendous, tremendous possibilities as a community policing coordinator. And before we let Dave say a word or two, I just want to have George say something about Dave.
I already told Eric, and we had a conversation. I think the biggest compliment, and I think the first concern was, what do you think? Are you a little concerned? Are you upset? I think the biggest compliment we as commissioners could ever have is the development and growth of the people that work directly with you. It's not about me, it's about the ability to provide the skill sets and opportunities for folks to grow and to be able to take on more challenges. And there's not anybody more suited. I judge people not by what they say, but how they model behavior. And David Botero doesn't talk the talk, he walks the walk. He's somebody who's engaged with our youth. He's engaged with every aspect of our community, both Latino and otherwise. I know he's a member of MLK Church and under the leadership of Reverend Levette Page. And I know he's an active church member as well. He is fully plugged in, and he's guided by a spiritual level of growth and the ability to not worry about himself, but how can he define himself in terms of what has he done for somebody else. And David will be a great addition. I know he's got a tall task. You know, the liaison between the police and the community is no easy job. So he needs to understand, you know, the level of expectation he needs to set with the community and the ability to have cooperation from the leadership in order to try to resolve those issues. And I'm grateful that David is now going to be expanding his role and being able to serve the community of Harrisburg. And if David wants to come up and say a few words.
I have a very deep, very intimate, very empathetic respect for the city of Harrisburg, for our citizens, for our infrastructure. We got to take care of our streets, we got to take care of our buildings, our churches, our schools, and we got to take care of our families. And so I'm very honored, very privileged to accept this position, to work with this wonderful, miraculous administration. That's my boss, that's my chief, that's my posse. And my CEO is an 8-year-old 50-pounder in the 2nd grade, and she's going to tell me if I'm doing the right job or not. And so I'm very proud to serve our city of Harrisburg. I look forward to not only the challenges, but overcoming them with great solutions and with proper collaboration with everyone. Thank you.
And with that, I need to let these gentlemen get back to work. There is much to be done. We're going to officially end the press conference. People can begin to leave, and then I will be happy to take some media questions if there are specific questions. But let's break and let these folks get back to work. Thank you all.
Good job.
Thank you so much. This is fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Yes, there'll be a memorandum of understanding with Susquehanna Township. They're going to draft that. It'll come to our solicitor's office, and we will get that taken care of.
Mayor, so I heard correctly,
yeah.
The township is footing the bill for Chief Carter to help consult, correct?
That's right. And actually, some of it is coming out of Chief Carter's own pocket because he's going to use some leave time. Basically, it's 2 days a week for 6 months. 1 day a week is being paid for by the township, theoretically, as part of the understanding, and the other is going to be donated by Martin in his personal time. That's why he was talking about how dedicated he is to the job and how he's working more than 40 hours anyway.
Are you going to reevaluate after 6 months to see if you want to keep him on, or is it just a 6-month deal?
My feeling is we need to make these changes immediately, and we have a short-term window to do them, so 6 months is the right amount of time. If we haven't been able to do what we need to do in 6 months, then we have a larger problem.
And is the township getting anything in return for the services being provided?
I think that's the wrong question. I mean, that's the whole premise. We're all going to benefit. The entire region's going to benefit from a safer Harrisburg and a safer region, and that type of interdisciplinary cooperation. There's just no question that crime doesn't obey municipal boundaries, and this is perhaps the first step to hopefully greater regional cooperation. I'm not afraid of the word regionalization. I don't think people should be. I think it's the future. I think it's the way to go. These are small steps, but I think they're more than just symbolic. They're very meaningful steps that are going to have a big benefit to the city and the region.
Mayor, can you give us an update on the Director of Public Safety?
There will not be a Director of Public Safety. That is something that we evaluated and we considered, but we determined a combination of a consultant and a reinvigorated community policing coordinator under new leadership with a new chief and a new captain would be the right combination of things.
Okay. Mayor.
Also, we don't have money in the budget for new positions. So it's really, this entire process is about how can we muster additional resources and bring them to bear for the benefit of the city.
Mayor, is Bob Philbin still an employee of the city of Harrisburg?
For the time being.
And can you explain what happened? Give us some information about, there's rumors that he tried to fire a number of city employees last month.
I'll have more on Bob Philbin tomorrow at our press conference, let's just leave it at that for now. Bob Philbin is employed, I think, through the end of the month, through an arrangement that was made before I took office. And I've spoken to the receiver about some issues, and I'll have more developments tomorrow.
And we had one question through Twitter that asked about the cold weather, and are there warming centers set up What is the city doing and what is the county doing to help out people in need at this time?
Yeah, the county and Pima are taking the lead on that. I've been briefed and in conversation about things. I will say I would like to make one sort of public safety announcement to viewers, and that is regarding frozen pipes. I know that I personally have been affected in my home in the last 24 hours. We had a pipe burst on Sunday. It did a lot of damage. One of our new employees, the pipes are frozen in her home. I assume this is happening all over the city of Harrisburg. My number one best advice to the public out there is know where your water shutoff is. Know where it is in your building, know how to get to it, make sure it's not obstructed so that you can get in there and shut that water off. If your pipes are frozen, yes, there are steps you can take to thaw them out. Never use an open flame. You can use a hair dryer very carefully. You can use a heating pad. You can use a warm washcloth. But by and large, it's so cold out there that they're already frozen and they're not going to free up for another 24 hours. And when they do, if your pipe is broken, you're going to have a lot of water. So know where your water shutoff is and be prepared for that. You can lose literally thousands of gallons of water in a very short amount of time, and it can end up doing a lot more damage.
Mayor, the money came from the county and the district attorney's office to buy equipment. Specifically, do you know what equipment you might use that money to purchase?
There are a lot of recommendations, and I have charged the chief with determining the best use of those funds. And I think that's the appropriate way to go. Chief Martin mentioned the need for body cams for officers. That's something under consideration.
Mayor, how does it make you feel to see the amount of support you had out here today behind you and backing you in the efforts you want to put into the city?
I think it's exactly reflective of the larger support that I'm feeling in the community. I believe that the areas surrounding Harrisburg want Harrisburg to succeed as much as the residents in the city, and we're at a critical moment where all things are aligning positively for Harrisburg, and you're going to see more examples of this type of positive collaboration in the future.
Chief, Mayor, talk about what Dave Botero and what you're hoping he brings to the job and what his job will be and what your expectations are through him.
Dave Botero is a tremendously talented individual with wonderful community connections. He's got a tremendous heart. He's somebody that I've gotten to know through my time in the private sector and in the community. He's very deeply involved. He's bilingual. He brings a certain fluidity and ability to pass in any neighborhood in the city and in effective ways. And I think one of the barriers that we're trying to break down are the racial and ethnic barriers that hold us back in this city. And outreach, especially, as I said, into the Latino community is tremendously important for the police department. Dave is going to assist in that. He is a very talented and wonderful addition to the team.
What is the salary?
The salary had to be negotiated with City Council. We're proposing 65. But that is, he is going in at the current Community Policing Coordinator's position, and that'll be part of the reopening of the budget process in January.
So that's an existing but vacant position, but it's funded in the current budget? Mm-hmm. Okay. And when are he and Chief Martin each expected to start in their respective positions?
Dave Botero is going to let me know the answer to that. He has given his notice to the county, so since the position exists, he can start whenever, probably in about 2 weeks. And Chief Martin, I believe, is going to start as soon as we finalize the Memorandum of Understanding with Susquehanna Township. So hopefully within the week, and I'll let you know once that's done.
And when are you anticipating releasing any of the transition team reports, if you are planning on releasing them?
We are going to, and I assume this week. Joyce, have we heard anything from Bob Melville? Okay. All right. Very soon you'll get them. One of the things I did was I went over the entire transition team report for public safety with the new captain and with the other captains and with the entire leadership team for the Harrisburg Police Department. So they're on board, and I'm going to be meeting personally with the fire chief and others this afternoon.
Can you say a little bit about the wing of codes enforcement?
Yes, and that was not addressed in today's press conference, but that is happening. Chief Carter is now going to be in charge of the codes department. It's a major reorganization. He's excited. We'll have more on that as it develops, but that's effective right away.
Who was previously in charge of the codes department?
It was within building and housing. And building and housing is also being proposed to be restructured into community and economic development. We'll have more on that on Friday. I don't want to get ahead of myself because we've got a lot of different things and a lot of changes happening, but we will paint the entire picture over the course of the week.
Will uniformed officers be issuing building-related citations?
No, I don't think that's the plan. The plan is to have a more consistent oversight and also to work with the district justices so that we have a more consistent enforcement plan. And that's something that I've talked in detail with Chief Carter, and there'll be further developments there.
Can you discuss at all what the letter from former Mayor Thompson said, one that you left for you yesterday?
It was a perfectly standard letter, I think, just passing from one mayor to the other, and it basically wished me luck and in the new job.
Are there any union issues that would prevent the implementation of the community policing model that you're envisioning?
No, I think the police officers, and we had Jason Brinker with the FOP on the transition team. Everybody wants that. There's great support for it. It's just a question of do they have consistent leadership and direction and a consistent plan, and that's what Chiefs Carter and Martin are going to work together to do.
What's the latest on the firefighters' contract negotiation?
It is going to be my principal emphasis behind the scenes. As I said, I'm going to be working with them this afternoon. My position is we have to reach agreement on a modified contract, and we have to do it as soon as possible. As you know, those savings are in the budget. They not only affect the city's financial recovery, but there's also a serious issue of morale among those that made concessions, and the firefighters are going to need to sit down and talk about how they can join with everybody else and help move the city forward. So,
what leverage do you have to drive that?
Well, I think I have the leverage of this office and what you've seen today, which is that their community, our region, all want the city to be successful. And they need to be a part of that success. And I think they want to be a part of that success. So I'm hoping that renewed conversation with this new administration is going to make it much easier for us to get that contract quickly. And as I say, I'm going to begin the conversation today.
And I think that's the end of the press conference.
Just for today.
Thank you.
Did you meet yet with Kathleen Kane? Or have you scheduled?
I am meeting with Kathleen Kane at 1:30.
What time tomorrow, Mayor?
Today, at 1:30.
You said
tomorrow's
tomorrow's
press conference will be at 10, and we will be sending a press release out very shortly, and we'll introduce more members of the team.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.